At Real America's Voice, we know that you want to be a part of something bigger. That's why we've teamed up with AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens, to build a real community of folks who care about faith and our country's future.
There is no force on earth that can stop us from saving our country.
Want to be a part of this movement? It's easy. Just scan the QR code on your screen right now. That's right. Grab your phone and scan the QR code to join the AMAC and Real America's Voice family today. By scanning the QR code, you'll unlock exclusive content, connect with like-minded Americans, and be first in line for events that celebrate our shared values. So don't wait. Scan the QR code. Join us today and become part of a community that stands for faith, family, and freedom.
Real rights, they come from God.
With AMAC and Real America's Voice. Go ahead, scan the QR code now.
Welcome back, everyone. We're getting you ready for the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange. It's set to ring here in about 5 minutes or so. We'll, of course, take you live to New York for that. Here's a quick look at pre-market trading. As you can see, the top of our board not looking so good. A couple of indices in the red, but the rest of the board looking pretty good. We'll, again, take you to New York for the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange here in short order. First, though, let's get you over to David. David, good morning.
Good morning, T. Bates. All right, time for our daily dose of dollars and common sense, and that means we're going to be joined by Steve Moore. We know Steve Moore very well. He's the former Trump economic advisor. Oh, he's still advising Trump, let's be honest, and co-author of the book, The Trump Economic Miracle. Steve, great to have you with us. So, all right, the economy. There you go. Go, Steve. No, just I have a lot of questions about the economy. Let's start with the good news. For every American who drives a car. We got data from AAA. I mean, it's the average price of gas, at least for a gallon of regular gas, dropped to about $2.83 on the first day of the new year. That's 23 cents cheaper than the same time last year. So what's driving all of this, Steve?
Well, look, this is a pro-American energy production president. And when you drill, baby, drill, and you produce more supply of something, then what happens to its price? It goes down. By the way, I smile when I hear that number 283. That's going to continue to go down, by the way. I think we're going to be at 250 a gallon pretty soon. And this is something, this compares with, do you remember it was up as high as $5 a gallon under Biden. And so we're going to be producing a lot more energy here at home. The fact that Venezuela is going to get its production back up. Some people are predicting that by the end of this year, we could see $2 a gallon gas. I'm not going to go that far, but it is a pretty picture when it comes to oil. And by the way, that it used to be the price of gasoline that was sort of the measure of how we were doing on prices. But you notice the left doesn't talk a lot about gasoline prices anymore.
Yeah, no, they don't. That's for sure. They don't. Hey, real quick, you mentioned Venezuela. Yeah. So help me out. What's your sense? I mean, it's hard to predict, but I'm curious about the Steve Moore crystal ball here. I mean, so depending on the events in Venezuela, talk to us about how quickly we could see gas prices drop based on what's happening there, or is that just so hard to predict, obviously?
Well, look, Venezuela has, by some measures, as much oil as Saudi Arabia does. And so this is a gigantic oil field that we're talking about, both onshore and offshore. And one of the tragedies of Maduro, by the way, is that their oil production has fallen by more than half because of the incompetence of socialists and communists when they run a country. They couldn't even get the oil drilled out of the ground. And so as that production comes online, and I anticipate it will fairly quickly, you're going to see increased global supply. And I think we could see prices continue to fall for gasoline, which is like a tax cut for the American consumer.
Yeah, we have about a minute left. We hear all about affordability. And yeah, I'm not trying to poo-poo it. It's out there. But what's your sense going forward in 2026? I mean, are we looking, what about the big, beautiful bill and some of this stuff coming to fruition? I mean, when might we see some of this start to ease a little bit? Q2, Q3, where are we exactly? Q1?
So three reasons to be positive for prices in 2026. Number one, people are going to see more money in their paychecks because of the big, beautiful bill. That starts to happen in the next paycheck people receive. Number
Yeah.
two, tariffs are coming down. Trump announced he was going to reduce tariffs, and he's probably going to lose it's to some extent in the Supreme Court, and some of that money will have to be returned to people. And finally, what we were just talking about, the energy situation has never looked better for lower prices, and all of that means more affordability for Americans. In a really look, I'm super bullish right now on the U.S. of A.
Steve Moore, great to have you. Got to run to the bell. The New York Stock Exchange, it's dinging soon, Steve. I'm sure you'll be looking. We all will. It's all sponsored by AMAC.
The Association of Mature American Citizens is the conservative voice for Americans 50 and older. AMAC is fighting for the values that you hold dear. Join today. Together, we can write the course of America.
Well, the bell is going to ding pretty soon here, as David just alluded to. The applause is already underway. As you can see, Tortoise Capital, is at the podium. That means that we're going to get the opening bell there at the New York Stock Exchange here in short order, and then we'll get an idea of how the markets are looking. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The bell is now ringing, which means the markets are opening. The scurrying is happening on the trading floor as those first buys and sells are coming in. Here's how the markets are looking right now. Pretty good at the moment. Only the Dow is down at the moment. The S&P 500 and the Nasdaq are both in the green, but of course all of that can change, and the rest of the board also in the green at the moment. We'll be watching it for you, though, throughout the day and keep you updated if there are any major changes. In the meantime, still to come here on American Sunrise, we're going to examine the years-long fallout on the 5th anniversary of January 6th demonstrations. From the breach of the Capitol to the aftermath that followed, there are still lots of questions that linger about accountability, consequences, and claims of a two-tiered justice system. We'll have the conversation next.